Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. All right, we're gonna see how this goes. New stream. A little bit late, but it'll be fine. What's up, guys? How's it going? We're gonna see. I thought I was gonna go with the dark background. I kind of like the dark background. Let's try this real quick here. Can I? That doesn't help much, but anyway. All right, guys, welcome to the stream on Sunday stream. We're gonna go ahead and just dive right into it. This will be a follow-up from the podcast and that kind of stuff. What do you guys think of the interview? Travis, pretty great, isn't it? Yeah, enjoy having Travis on the show. We recorded that almost 2 months ago, I think now. So I hope hope it was all still relevant and looking all right and all the rest of it. But anyhow, let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions or something you want to go over. What we do for these live streams is very open-ended. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I'll pretty much talk about. We don't have to film anything on this live stream, so it's not like the other ones where it's like a behind the scenes where you see how I'm filming videos and that kind of stuff. So we can just see what's up. Let me see here. Your questions. But yeah, let's let me see here. Going right here. Yeah, I am going to I don't know. I want this to be interesting and useful for everybody, but like let's see what's going on. If you guys want to, let's see here. Let's talk print farms, Travis, and Shop Nation and what they've been doing over there. And then we can also go through and discuss, I don't know. We can go wherever. There's plenty of stuff to go on through. This is kind of a weird time because most of the world's like asleep right now because it's 7 over on East Coast and later for everyone else. And we don't have a huge amount of well, we've got Australian people. Hey, Australian people. What's up? I guess it's like super early in the morning for you guys right now, so it's also not like ideal. This might have been the worst possible time that I could have possibly streamed, but yeah, you know what? Let's do it. Let me turn on our lights here. Here we are. Sweet. Now we got the lights. I'm gonna mess with them. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, because it's live stream and rules don't matter. I want that to be slower though. Fade tree. Here we are. Let's try this. What's it do? Nice. I'm good with that. It can keep on doing that. That's just fine. All right. What do you guys want to talk about? This is the thing. If I was a professional, I would probably know what we want to talk about, but I know what we can talk about. The piece of homework that I have to do right now is inside of the company. We're revamping our handbook, our company handbook there. And there's plenty of stuff there's stuff that's going to be cut out and some things I'm going to add in, some like core like principles of what we do around like customer support and around videos. And in videos, I was having a conversation with this team this week about videos. And there were a number of shorts that went out this week that are not quite up to snuff because they're like the edit was off or they didn't answer a question or solve a problem. And when we work with content, we do everything entirely through content. So we've done a little bit of ads here recently, but we're probably going to deprecate that because like just ads just stick wrong. And we haven't figured out how to do like paid ads in a way that I think is useful and building on stuff. So we're going to go back to content. But the rules of the content is the content has to be useful. The content has to stand on its own. Ancillary to that, another way of looking at it is the content needs to be a part of the product. Not a promotion of the product, but a part of the product. I think we're in a really advantageous spot because when people are using portals, one of the benefits of using portals is that you have all of our content about how to design, about how to sell, about how to do all these other things so that all of this aggregated information is available for anyone who uses portals. And that's just really great because yes, the content is meant to be an ad for the stuff, but it's also meant to stand on its own and be useful and be a part of the product, improving the experience with the product. So I need to reinforce that and write that down so that's part of handbook and it's like a 10 commandments of what we do with content or don't do with content. But I gotta work on a handbook for that today. So that's kind of what my job is. This is my overflow job today. It's not really my overflow job. It's just like I should be doing this stuff. But yeah, we got to go through and just revamp a whole bunch of things. Hey, Jay in Design. Do you have a video or part of a video specifically showing the best way to design flat spiral spring? We do not. I don't think that you should design a flat spiral spring. It just doesn't. A spiral spring needs. Guys have done it, and you can print it, and you can put a spring inside of there, and you make a slinky. But it's not good. It's one of those products where I think that you're kind of pigeonholing it into FDM to make it work with FDM, even though it probably shouldn't be done with FDM. I wouldn't produce a spring with FDM. If you're doing a compression spring, you can basically just make it square and make it a crinkled sheet. And there's ways of doing springs there. You can do leaf springs. Those are really good and handy. You can also, we have a video on springs, I think. I think we did do a video on springs, but just not like an extension spring, really. You cannot design a coil spring with FDM 3D printing, basically is what I'm saying. You can get a device that is compressible or extensible, but you can't really do a coil spring. That's something to be avoided. What else? Anybody else have questions or things that you want to talk about? It's open-ended on all this stuff. Until I'm gonna, man, I have a MacBook, guys. Tell me how I reduce the text size on the browser in Mac, because this is freaking irritating. If I wasn't so lazy, I'd go to ChatGPT and say, how do I reduce the text on a Mac? Lost the connection. How do we lose the connection? I'll be back in a second. Coming back. Lost it all for a second. Zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, reset zoom. Command view in the top. Choose zoom out to make text smaller. Zoom in to enlarge it. This is riveting content, by the way. Text. Go from click view on the top mid. What the frickin' fraggle? To friggle fraggling. I don't know where all this stuff is. Oh, here we go. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Zoom out. Good heavens. I'm not that old and blind. Who is so old and blind that they wanted that like that ever? All right. We got new comments coming in. Fantastic. Amplify ambition. What's the best material / infill / CAD design inside for preventing sag over time? I'm designing a part that is long and skinny that holds some weight. Over time, it's permanently deforming from the weight. This is more of a material thing than an infill thing. Plastics sag. You need a plastic. PLA sags quite a bit. PETG less. ASA less. So choosing kind of a higher performance plastic that doesn't have as much creep in it is what you're looking for. Because all plastics will deform under load over a certain period of time, depending on the types they are. And I don't need to go into like all the features that make them do this. But it has to do with basically the crystallization of the plastic itself. PLA creeps a lot. So it's not really an infill thing. It is a matter of how do you design or what material do you use. Now, that being said, in order to reduce the sag, you can just make it fatter, wider, thicker, heavier, and there's just more material there to have to creep. So design it like an I-beam, follow good practices, put more structure in there, and it'll creep less. Because if you have a big old brick, it's not going to sag as much as little tiny things hanging there. So that's the easiest way to do it. What's up, Daniel Slandes? Daniel Islandes? Sorry. For someone wanting to just create simple content about 3D printing, such as reels, how do you know what people want and what keeps them interested? You make 100 reels, and then you take the best ones. That's what it is. I wish there was a secret of knowing, but the only way of knowing how to do any of this stuff is to do it. The way to know if a product will sell, you sell 10 products. The way to know if a video does well, you make 100 videos. You just go do it. if you are in a stage where you're just planning and preparing, then you're wasting your time and you're not going to be able to, you're not going to do it. The only way to do it is to get started. So just do it. VPHOVIT, do you plan for portals to have multi-filament option for a single print? For example, PLA and PETG together in one file. Right now, it's not on roadmap because it really radically increases the complexity of the things that you're done, and multi-material just doesn't work well in mass production. And when I say mass production, guys, I mean 10,000 parts plus, which is the kind of stuff that we do. You can absolutely run it, and lots of people are making parts, and heck, even like companies like Wiglets are making thousands/millions of parts with multicolor filament. But they are making uber tiny things that are super high margin. For us to be a service, we have to be more broadly applicable than that. So it's very difficult to do multi-material because even if we had a machine with like 4 colors or 4 materials on it, someone would always want some other material in that mix. So it just never works. It increases your options without increasing your value. So yeah, we don't have it there. Plus, right now, 90% of parts. I just did an interview a week ago, the podcast from 2 weeks ago. We talked about this on the show with a guest, and it was the discussion and the realization of how few parts have multiple colors on them at all in general, especially in production. It's so few. Multicolor is kind of a gimmick of the 3D printing industry, not really necessary for production. Christian Bureau, if I print 2 parts that need to fit together, will you verify that the part will fit? And if so, can you let it together? We do not verify fits generally. Like it's not a requirement. We will sometimes doing it because we're nice or we're looking at it or we see it go by, but we don't guarantee that we will do that. The thing you will need to do is order a prototype from yourself and then make sure it fits together the way you want to, because there's no way for us to define fit for you. Some people want it super tight, some people want it super loose. There's no way we can make the decision of seeing if it's correctly fitted. So you have to order a prototype, and then you can be confident that every part after that will be made the same way. So that's the thing to do. You can do it through Prototyper, or you can create a portal and order it from yourself. Question, what is Slant3D teleports position on firearms-related products? Picture frame designed to conceal a thingamajig. Personally, I'm from Idaho. I grew up on a cattle ranch. I have no problem with firearms myself. And we're in America. That's all fine and that kind of stuff. And firearms-related things are perfectly legitimate and okay items to make and sell, so long as you're not breaking laws around firearm components. Then we step in and say no if it's on the edge of that or something like that. But what you're describing, I don't think is an issue. Fight Like a Brave. Can you edit a portal's listing after upload, not the file, in case you want to add remove description details? Yeah, you can absolutely change the description. A portal is fully editable. You can change the file and you can change the description. We didn't used to allow you to change the file because we wanted consistency over time. But yes, you've always been able to edit it. So yeah, you go right in the portal, hit edit portal, and you can change it up as much as you like. I've seen the video you mentioned. Out of the 4, the 4th type of spring you explained is the spiral spring, but in the video you didn't say that it wouldn't be much capability. Wait, it just happened. What has your opinion changed? It wouldn't be the value of a spring or any given thing is fully dependent on the application. Aluminum is very useless for making airplanes when you first invented an airplane, but it's really useful today. So when we do those demos and that kind of stuff, the applications may be limited because we don't know everything. So if it's an application that is useful for you, go ahead and use it for that application. The point of all of our videos are to give people kind of a menu of things to pull from that may work for your products. So that's the goal with all that kind of stuff. All right. Do you offer or recommend a course for 3D design? I really enjoy your videos and have learned much from them. The course is the videos. Go through, grab one of the playlists from the YouTube. Like we don't do a course that's necessarily structured in any sort of way, because if we did, it would just be our videos revamped. So we don't really have a course for it all. We just do it. And we have this entire YouTube channel available and free so that you have full access to everything that we would put into a course. The only value from a course I can see is like the structure of it. And here in the new year, we do have a plan to put together kind of a curriculum or an organization of our videos so that it's no longer just search, because we have 700, 800 videos on the channel, but pulling all those videos together and putting them in an order to where you can kind of go along and be like, oh, these are cool. And like the first step of this has been like the compilation videos you guys have been seeing in the last couple of weeks, where we just share groups of videos that are related to each other in one single long video. Oh, thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that. What kind of build plate surface are your printers using? Textured PEI sheet, spring steel sheet, that's the kind of thing. That's the main one. We used to use a lot of glass, and we still do in production, but it doesn't work as well for the print on demand, because print on demand people are generally working from a prototype that they have at home, and kind of the default bed that people have in their house is the spring steel. And I have mixed feelings about spring steel. I don't think it's as good as everybody thinks it is. I think it's fine. I think it's very good. But there are better options, but they have different surface finishes. So there's just that. What's next? Other questions. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. How do I, what the? Okay, that's weird. Okay. Stupid. Oh. That's why it doesn't work. Oh, shoot. Okay, fine. Other questions. We are going to, on portals and like all these portals updates, I can't do two things at once, guys. This is why people have co-hosts for these things. I cannot read, write, and continue to keep the thing going while all by myself. Shay, have heard PETG and PETG glow in the dark wears out the Bamboo Lab A1 default SS nozzle way too quickly. Any way to minimize the wear? No, glow in the dark is super abrasive because of the colorants inside of it. I don't know about PETG. PETG shouldn't wear it out super fast. I don't know what nozzle style the A1 uses. I think they use a steel nozzle, so I don't think it wears out very fast. But glow in the dark is super abrasive to 3D printing nozzles, so it's kind of a problem in that regard. I would recommend staying away from it. White also wears out your nozzle really fast. Light colors in general kind of wear out your nozzle super fast, so those are all things. Current favorite printer? Any releases you're looking forward to, like XL, Silicon Head? I don't endorse any machines. I don't even follow any machines, because most of the printers inside the Slant3D factory are our internal machine. We do use third-party machines. We've got them around because, like, in order to build a print farm as fast as we want to, we need redundancy for ourselves. So we build our own machines, and we buy machines from other people that have been qualified, but also modified. Of the machines out there, we cannot use consumer machines inside of the print farm because we don't know how long they'll last. If you're building a factory, you need a factory that is able to last for 5 to 10 years. That's because I can't replace 1,000 machines every 18 months. But consumer 3D printers, Bamboo is replacing their old version of machine every 18 to 24 months. That's not useful to us. We can't have our factory go obsolete. So it has to be improvable over time. That being said, I don't watch consumer machines very close. I don't benchmark them. I don't know what people think are good or bad or anything else, because I really don't like the testing procedures that people use on them. So we don't pay attention. I look at the technologies. I liked the Vortec when it came out. I had a conversation with another YouTuber who was messing with it, and he's like, it's still really slow. And I was just like, oh, I can see why it would still be really slow, because it's using the AMS still, which has this whole retraction shenanigan. And I was like, that's kind of sucks, because the Vortec in concept is really, really good if they could feed filament to it faster. Multi-head extrusion, multi-head machines, not useful to us. They're an overcomplicated solution. It shouldn't be necessary for that. Well, it's not even an overcomplicated solution. I'm really biased because multiple heads, multiple extruders, multiple filaments all increase complexity so radically. When you're producing millions of parts, you cannot have that additional complexity. A 3D printer needs 3 axes of motion and 1 motor for pushing filament through a nozzle. That's all you need. And an extruder that doesn't jam. Those are the secrets to making a perfect machine. And it is, well, this happened. Like, Bamboo made a very, very good machine with the X1C and the P1S and everything else. They broke through it all. By the way, guys, store up other questions, because once I'm done with this rant, I'm going to move on to the next thing again down in chat. There was so that was really great because somebody took a 3D printer and fully evolved it and brought it up to something that was really, really good and really, really valuable. And I appreciate everything that Bamboo did. I also appreciate how aggressive they were in making sure that they became one of the machines out there. Whereas so many other 3D printing companies are so conservative of like kind of ramping up that they just don't get control or scale. Bamboo got scale really fast. And it was just impressive to see also that their machine was just so good. But yeah, so that's kind of my thought on the whole thing. Keep it real and toasty. Gabe, thank you for what you do with the 3D printing community. I have learned a lot from you. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Other questions. There has not been a print farm 3D printer made. There isn't one. There are a lot of 3D printers that people use in print farms, but that's not the same thing. No one has engineered a machine, aside from us, no one has engineered a machine explicitly for print farms, mainly because companies don't know what a print farm actually needs, because there's been so few print farms of scale. And guys, again, like 100 machines is not a large print farm. Not anymore. 20 machines used to be a large print farm, or 100 machines used to be a large print farm, but 100 machine print farms are not common, but they're around. But that's not scale. That's still not scale. That's still very small business bespoke kind of stuff. In order to produce millions of parts, you need thousands of machines. But the manufacturers have no experience with running thousands of machines, including, by the way, Prusa, who is like the print farm example. But their machines don't work in this. I was talking to a company a few weeks ago who was going to expand their capacity. They were planning to put in 5,000 Bamboo machines into a print farm. And they call us because we built the big print farm. The mega farm here is spec'd out for 3,000 machines. So they want to go bigger than us, which is fantastic. We'll catch up. We'll get another one here. We got other factories going around. But there's also like a challenge with how do you, what am I trying to say? How do you actually scale up something that large? Because if you're building a big injection molding machine with 3D printers, you should probably go use a big injection molding machine. The printers don't add a lot of value unless you need the flexibility, which is useful for high mix things. And this company that I'm talking about kind of had that. But with 10,000 machines, they have a changeover problem. They have just the operational collection problems. Like it turns into a big problem very, very quickly. So yeah. Okay, questions. Come on in. Aiden. Well, a Bamboo just combined existing research into one printer if you really think about it. But yes, they did do it faster and at a bigger scale. They did, but they also, to say they combined it, implementation is wildly underrated, guys. Many people think that you need an invention in order to create a really, really good product. Very often you just need to go in and create a really good product with what is around. I would say that Slant3D, we've made a number of fairly significant innovations around how to mass produce stuff. But much of what our job is just making stuff work. And Bamboo made stuff work. And Bamboo also, to say that they combined research is a little bit unfair because the founding team of Bamboo are fantastically talented controls engineers. And I have not yet seen another company with equivalent software acumen to the control software used in a Bamboo machine. So it's just... to say that they used existing stuff is a little bit unfair to Bamboo because absolutely they were taking some stuff that was out there, but the stuff is always out there. It's kind of like Steve Jobs taking stuff from Xerox PARC. Oh, he took it, stole it from them or whatever it was. It wasn't his idea. Yeah, the Mac team did a lot of changes to the Xerox software to turn it into Mac OS and to make it useful and to make it affordable. So it's easy to say, oh, the idea existed, therefore they didn't come up with it. But like the ideas around, the Wright brothers could have said, oh, we've got an airplane, you can make it go speed of sound. But they don't claim that because somebody has to go make a plane travel at the speed of sound. It's a very different thing between the implementation and the actual challenges that can come up. All right, what has been the best products on portals so far? Oh, interesting. There's a limit to what I can say because a lot of people use portals kind of for the privacy of it, of being public or not being public. I would say that the very best products on portals, I didn't use a public one. Matthew Ghost, who is an Instagrammer, had this little pill popper device to where you put it, well, not pill, it was for chiclets. But you can use it for pills too. But you had this, do we have one around here? I got one. It was fun. But you dump chiclets in it, and you pull up a cylinder, and then you drop the cylinder, and there's a little chiclet right there now. It's a really cool thing. I love that product because he's an Instagram who's a 3D model designer. But now people without printers were able to get a hold of it. And I loved it because it was so demonstrable on video. And he had a viral video go. Like he only had about 8,000 followers on Instagram, and then this video hit. I don't know how many he has right at this moment. But it's a very great definition of a creator getting caught in virality of it and turning it loose. Another one, we had a YouTuber, Luke Evans, who was doing photography equipment, and he made this little adapter for an Instagram Instago 360 to give it some sort of lens attachment. And he sold a bunch on a video that was already a couple months old. But I love those because they're really cool, demonstrable products, and they look good. But those are like the public ones that I can freely talk about. I don't want to just like run through people's portals and say like, oh yeah, these are top sellers, without like anonymizing it. But those two are like public examples that we can show off there. Is the market big enough currently for that sort of niche to become profitable for print farms? No, I don't think so. Print farms are still wildly small. I probably have like another 3 years probably before print farms kind of become a default thing. But that's the excuse to start right now. The benefit we have of building machines for a giant print farm is that we have a giant print farm. So we know what those machines have. It's really tough to engineer for a giant print farm if you don't have one. So you have to really listen to customers about it. But I don't think it makes sense because I think there's probably only about 20,000 machines out there, 20 to 50,000 machines total on the planet running big print farms. If I'm summing up in my head right now, I can find about 20, 25,000 of them, which means that there's probably another double of that I don't know about. But that's only 50,000 machines. That's a lot of machines, but you're not going to sell to all of those people. And the broader consumer 3D printing market is about 3 million machines right now, I think. 2 to 4 million. I think we sold 2 to 3 million last year, consumer machines, and it'll be more this year. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think print farms are like a viable business right now, which is why no one has really done it. Prusa had their print farm machine, the print farm system or whatever it was. This was, but it obviously hasn't come to market yet because they're busy with their consumer business, which got revamped when they realized, oh, if we make this style of machine, more people will buy it. This is vitamin B, by the way. Had an industrial design internship offer at India's largest 3D printing vendor and farm. I ditched it to join a large traditional mold design and in-house manufacturing firm. Is this path better for me? Che Design. I don't know. I think 3D printing is pretty up and coming, and I think molding is kind of on its way out. Here's my thought on molding. Molding requires that you spend a bunch of money and then make a bunch of parts and then hope that you sell. You're hoping they sell. Whereas 3D printing means that you can make a part, sell it, make a part, sell it, and then you can change the part every time between there. So you get a really responsive type of physical product. That sounds like an obviously better way of making products if it is scalable. For you as an industrial designer, like we turned loose portals where you can upload a model and start selling in the United States right away. If you're based in India, you can start selling products in the United States through portals in about 30 seconds. That means that you're able to design products for some place that you're not near to, and you don't have to worry about shipping or product creation or shipping or printing or even customer support and returns and processing, which I think is the future of how stuff should be done, to where you just have this large number of designers creating awesome stuff that has to be made with 3D printing, because that's the only way to do it. But now your designs can actually get into the world. And whether you sell 1 part or 1 million parts, you have the infrastructure to support it. So that's a really big deal. Kevin, hey man. Angry Monday, what's up? All right, what other things? I'm probably going to cut this a little bit. Well, I definitely have to cut it a little bit short because I got to leave at 4:20. So we got like 10 minutes left here, guys. But yeah, what else we got? Anything on print farms or print farm machines? Let's see here. What are other stuff about print farms? Let me know if anybody's having any problems with teleporter portals. This is time to get me. I have a meeting with the software team tomorrow. We're going through stuff. We're going to revamp things. Portals, we got to revamp some stuff on certain devices. It's displaying sort of weird. So we're fixing that, and we're rolling through all that stuff. So yeah, we'll change that, get that updated as soon as we can. There's a little bit of lag time on it. We upgraded our servers a couple weeks ago. So everything should be faster, but we're going through and cleaning up some things too. So there's some optimization on photo loading that we need to do and that stuff. The checkout process is pretty quick and clean. Like you can check out pretty quick. I want to rebrand it a hair. It needs to be a little bit more cohesive, and the shipping, for some reason, here's the thing. If anybody's used portals recently and you try to buy an item and you got to like the shipping address input, let me know if you saw something weird with it. Like, it looks fine. It operates the same. It's the same as anybody else's shipping input. And if you start on the address, it'll autofill it for you. We need to adjust something. I don't know what it is, but something's got to kind of move. So we're going to, let me know if you've seen anything weird on that, because I'd love some more third-party opinions on it. Oh, also, by the way, I don't know. Hold on. Oh, no, I can't do that. Hold on. I want to check a stat here, because we put up a survey yesterday on teleport, and we were like, how is teleport? Awesome, meh. And fortunately, almost everybody was going for awesome, which was great. But I want to talk to the mez. I want to know what their problems are so I can get it fixed. All right. Kevin, opinion on Shaper 3D, or should I go straight to Fusion 360 for designing, especially designing for companies? Totally up to you, dude. Very different ways of working on stuff there. Shaper is cool. That works on like Macs and that kind of thing, and is very iPad and touch focused. Fusion 360 is older and probably has a lot more functionality for complex items. So your call. Your opinion on 3D printed drones for the Army. 3D printed drones are good. They're fine. They're dandy. That's a good way to do it. I think it's an indication of how few of them are being made that they're being 3D printed. But I don't know what the 3D printing gives an advantage, because it can reduce the assembly on those things. And yeah, the Armies use all this stuff. For the address, I think choosing the country first helps. So maybe ask for this question first. That's fair. It's a little bit odd because that's not how people are used to putting their country in. People are used to doing their street and then the country details afterwards. But you're right. The country informs like the shipping costs, so getting to that sooner would be more useful to people, because we're being respectful of people's time. If you got multiple portals embedded on a web page and a customer wants 2 items, you have to make 2 separate purchases. If you're embedding on a web page, that's kind of weird. The better option would probably be to send them straight to your profile, and then you can have all the portals there. Within portals, there is a cart, and people can add multiple portals to their cart and buy all of them. But if you're embedding 2 separate portals on your web page, they go into the portal, they add it to their cart, then they go back to your web page, go into the portal, and they add it to the portal's cart again, and then they check out, which is just sort of weird. The profile page is probably a better option, to where you have your website, and then the shopping page is like the portal's profile page, your portal storefront page. So that might be a better way of doing it. So people can see all of your portals items displayed right there. We have, I'm not going to talk about that right now. That's not available yet. Yeah, cool, sweet. Let's see here. What else? Anything else people want to go over? The portals, while we're on portals. Any color requests? Here's a requirement for color requests. If you want a color or a material, you have to use at least 10 kilograms of it per month. At least. Of parts sold and historical sales of those parts. We will maybe be releasing White Pet G. We might be releasing White Pet G. People have asked for it. We used to have it. We turned it off because nobody used it. But people have accumulated enough interest that we might circle back around on that now. There's a couple of users and customers who've done that. So we'll see if we can do White Pet G. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have a portal storefront. If you go into your portals, there's the option to edit profile. The profile is your storefront. So you can build out that and do whatever you want to do with it. You have featured items, you have all of your items, and then there was an update last week to where if you create the same portal with multiple color variations, those multiple different portals can show up at the bottom of one of them. So rather than having to have 12 colors with 50 different pictures inside of there, you have your blue one, and then you have your red one, and then down below you have your white one, and that kind of stuff. So it's a very easy way to give the selection if you really want to give people every color option, which I do not recommend because it hurts your sales conversion rate, but you can do it. Okay, matte purple, matte green, matte yellow for portals, just a full spectrum to work with. Are you selling 10 kilograms of matte purple or matte green and matte yellow? We have our purple isn't matte. Our purple is pretty close to matte. Matte yellow is rough. For you contact support. And if you're selling 10 kilograms of each one of these materials per month right now, we'll get it added in. But we have to have the demand for it because like existing yellow right now on portals doesn't have a lot of use. I mean, it's got a decent amount of use because we got tons of machines around and a lot of people using them, but like not enough to like justify another variation of yellow. So we gotta have proof in the pudding of like the sales numbers that you're doing to implement the new color. Otherwise, it just creates a lot of complexity and problems. What are your thoughts on starting a local filament production, considering there are no local suppliers in my country and the current prices are relatively high on the imported one? We started up Tangled last year to sell $10 per kilogram material. Tangled was much easier to set up than I thought and also much harder in certain ways. If you know about filament extrusion, it's fine. There is very little documentation about how to do it if you don't already know it. So if you don't know how to do it, I don't recommend doing it. It's fairly expensive to set up, very slow payback. You don't really want to necessarily, I don't know what expensive is in your country or what the pricing is of filament currently in your area, but if you are not if you are a traditional filament manufacturer, you generally have to sell your filament for somewhere between $20 and $25 USD inside the United States. Don't know what country you're in. So if your existing suppliers are selling for that range, that's pretty much what you have to sell for. For Tangled, we sell it for $10 a kilogram. It's not very profitable. It's almost not profitable at all. Sometimes we lose money on it. The reason we do it is because we get to use the material internally for our print farm, so we are able to make money on the print farm. And since we have a fairly large YouTube following, we get to advertise for free. And those are two areas where we get to cut costs that other people can't cut costs on. So that's the danger of creating a filament production thing. Hey, welcome, Mr. Shankster. Is there a joining fee or do you take fees on printing and commissions on orders? Nope. Yeah, Portals is totally free. You can start up and do whatever you do. There's no fees until we print and ship an item for you. So the customer pays for your use of Portals. You upload the file, it immediately says what it costs to make that file. You sell it for more, you keep the difference. That's the way it works. If you want the premium subscription, that gives you access to like light pucks and wireless charging pucks and third-party parts that can be included. Screws, nuts, bearings, bolts, magnets, those kind of things can all be included, but that's part of the premium subscription. Flight, like a brave. Just want to be able to design decor items with a little more color range, but current colors are good. Gotcha. That's what kind of decor items? Um, yeah, what kind of decor items? That'd help us out. Still haven't answered the question yet. Are you? Have you sold 10 kilograms worth of material of these things yet? Um, because that's the baseline. Because like everybody, there's infinite colors that we could add, guys. All of them, and all of them will give you more options to create more stuff. But what we have found is that more colors doesn't really increase usage or increase sales for people. So we're very cautious about how we do it because we know the vast majority of products made on Portals and Teleport right now are black. Majority, by a mile, and then everybody else is long tail after that. Matte black. Matte black is actually no, it's not with the blacks. The blacks take up the majority of everything. Lamps with bases. Gotcha. Oh, good news. We will be releasing vase mode for lamps here. Yeah, possibly as early as next week. So that'll be available. And then, but I recommend not using vase mode for lamps because it makes them really fragile. But no, that makes total sense. I'm still in plan mode, but my third-party box is on the way. Oh, sick. Cool. Yeah, design around the light puck. I really like the light puck. We have all of the other light fixtures, so like E27, pendant light, all those kind of things are in there. But yeah, the lamps are a good one. Lamps are a good one. You can sell a lot of those. Make sure you know how to make a video of them. Demonstrate it really well. Alejandro Palacios, sorry. Hello, how do you see the global distribution of 3D printing use? I mean, engineering, toys, arts, medical replacements, any other you've seen. Anything that's plastic can be made with 3D printing. You just have to redesign for 3D printing. I have a 200 millimeter diameter model I want to put on my Portals account. Is that pushing your 220? No. 200 millimeters is fine. If you had a 219 millimeter model, I would say don't do that. This is a hilarious problem that we have, guys. There will be an update to pricing. This will be an update to pricing. People have been uploading models that are 219.9 millimeters to a side. That can't be, that are straight across there. That's a terrible thing to do because you're so close to the edge of the print bed that the failure rate just skyrockets. So we're going to update the pricing algorithm to say if you are within 5 millimeters of the edge, as in you're like over 210, then the price per part is going to increase kind of dramatically at that scale. And we're going to do this just to make sure that people are uploading manufacturable models or taking the hit if it goes wrong there. Because people are, uploading these build volume bricks or not build volume bricks, but just the biggest offenders are people trying to batch 100 parts on a print bed to where they put it within a 0.5 millimeter of the edge, which means that 10 of the 100 pieces fail. Or people just making a really large part that they didn't orient correctly. So we need to put up a warning and a price incentive to make people rotate their part correctly or not batch a bajillion things on the print bed. You shouldn't have more than 5 things on a print bed. Batching is fine to a degree. Excessive batching is not. We have fixes coming in for that too. So don't stretch it out to the edges. Yes, the build volume is 220, and we want that so that people can reasonably put something on there. The simple fix would be for us to change our build volume to 215, but that's kind of dumb because people are thinking like, oh, good people will be like, oh, now I got to design something that's 200, and just everything goes wrong. So we're going to create an incentive to not go right to the edge. I'm an Amazon POG seller. I don't want multiple variations per item, or I already know that's not good. I just want to more single color item. Oh, if you're selling on Amazon, you're doing POD. So that's, you'll want to use like Teleport for that. But if you want like Fulfillment by Amazon and you want these custom colors, we can do a production run for you in any color that you want. The production side of the business we'll pull in any color you want because we're going to make 100 pieces or 1,000 pieces for you or whatever it was. So that is a way to get it done. Puck lamps, pendants, hue light, nice. Yes. Oh yeah, you can get a Philips Hue light bulb in Third-party parts. Yeah, we're probably going to change our lights to require. Oh, no, we won't because people will want to use the Philips Hue. But we have LED bulbs included so that people don't make lamps that melt with some kind of incandescent. If you're selling lamps, I suggest very strongly that you make a lamp with our LED bulb included so that your customers don't put an incandescent inside of it. Otherwise, that could cause giant problems because you'll make like a PLA lamp or something and it'll melt on people. And you don't want that. Do you recommend a social media ad for most products? The thing I recommend is you go make 10 videos of the product explaining what it is, what problem it solves, and who you are in every one of those videos. And that is the way to get started. And then the best performing video of that, you can run an ad against, and that's a reasonable way to get some traffic. But you should get a sale organically first. That's generally what I recommend. Don't run ads until you get a sale organically, especially if you have never run ads before. What do you do with the failed prints? We'll run them through, regrind them, whatever it has to be. So basically, the lesser the assembly required, the lesser the need of premium membership. How much does it cost? No. You can do multiple different parts if you want to. The baseline on the free version of Portals, you can create an item that is a lampshade and a base. Well, no, let me change that. A box and a lid. And those can all be printed and included. You can include multiple files on a single portal. If you want to include a light bulb or a light puck or those kind of things, then that is premium membership, which is $20 a month, $19 per month. It's very cheap, very affordable, especially for all portals in general. Just the free tier of it is kind of amazing that you get a Shopify store, a 3D print farm, a shipping service, and a return service all in one for free. It is really incredible that Portals does all of that for you. Whereas Shopify is generally 20 to 40 bucks a month. A print farm is whatever print farm will cost you. And then you have shipping services like Shippo or ShipStation or separate services that you have to sign up for. We are taking 4 things and putting them into one single thing so people can just start businesses easier. This is really sort of incredible. Just saying that I have experience in POD marketing a bit. I do t-shirts, but that's good to know. If you've done t-shirts, that's great. Yeah, if you've been in traditional POD already, this is perfect for you. Here's the recommendation that I would make for you. If you've done POD before, go to a place like Maker World or Printables that have commercial licenses. Find designers that haven't made videos of their product, which is a bunch of them. Even some of the most popular designers have not made videos of their items. You can get the commercial license for their files and just make videos of their files, and you would do so well selling prints of it. And you could just set it up with Portals, and that would be fine. I know you're working with like interior decor right now, but like if you wanted to diversify more of the files that you were doing, again, don't diversify too much, but like if you're shopping around for what to do right now, there's really amazing products that have been made that have not been demonstrated on social media. So they're a great option. All right. ClearPet G will be great for light type. Okay, fair enough. You got to get to 10 kilograms. Do you have 10 kilograms of it being sold? Yes, but can be stringy and fail more often. Depends on the ClearPet G. We have pretty good Pet G suppliers. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to have to wrap it up here, guys. Any final little questions here in the last 5 minutes? Let me know. Let's see what we got. Last questions. Anything else? We're gonna close. We're gonna close here in just a moment. Thanks, guys, for watching. Really great to do this. We do this live stream at least once a week on Sundays. I hop on at different times throughout the week, sometimes too. Like when we're filming, I'm just going to take filming and turn it into a live stream opportunity because you guys get to see the videos sooner, and it's kind of fun to see behind the scenes. And I'm in front of the camera, so I might as well answer questions in between takes of the videos. What's up, Melting Venus? Yeah, so we'll always have this. If you're building portals or teleport stores or something along those lines, go ahead and have questions ready, and I can help walk through. We have done store reviews before, so if you can send me the link or post like what your store is during these chats, I can review stores and give people feedback. So that's pretty much what we do with these live streams. But alrighty, well, I'll turn you all loose. Have a good one, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at the next video, I suppose. I'm sure there's some suggested videos over on the side from Slant3D. You should watch them. They're pretty good. I'll see y'all later.